are ready to get underway right now between the two players. We are going to go ahead and have Kermit the Frog on bottom as emforbes. Emilio is going to be on top with Kangaskhan, Thundurus, Cresselia, Clefable, Landorus, Therian, and Aegislash. Kermit the Frog running Amoonguss, Milotic, Gardevoir, Heatran, Terrakion, and Thundurus.
And that's that Scarf Milotic we saw right at the beginning of the day today. Scarf Milotic could be pretty interesting if Emilio brings both of his genies, but against Kangaskhan, Clefable, which I know is the core of Emilio's team, it's not going to be very useful. Neither will Terrakion, other than maybe some Rock Slides. It's probably going to take Gardevoir to break that with that spread Hyper Voice damage. That's what you're missing from Clefairy, right? Is that spread damage can actually significantly hurt the partner more. And maybe supporting that the Gardevoir is not going to be able to be against Kangaskhan by itself, so maybe Amoonguss to support it on the other side.
Going now into the first turn, we're going to go ahead and go into the leads here. Emilio going to send out his Pokemon versus Kermit's. Emilio going to send out Kangaskhan and Clefable, a pair that we have seen so much from him. Well, the one time we did see him stream, versus Terrakion and Thundurus for Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, it looks like 2011 out there. Yeah, this is... If Thundurus has Taunt, this is not that bad of a position, because you can Taunt the Follow Me, and then you're threatening the close combat against Kangaskhan. Otherwise, Kangaskhan's free to start Power Up Punching Terrakion, not take much damage from Rock Slide. It's a really good position for Emilio. A lot's going to depend on that, on whether that Thundurus has Taunt, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Thundurus, depends on what Thundurus this is. Is it more the offensive version that we saw a lot of in 2011, or is it more the bulky version that we see more in recent years?
Is this the... Never mind. It's not the Thundurus that we saw with Sub. So
I don't think we've seen anything from Kermit. No. Kangaskhan now going to go ahead and Mega Evolve on Emilio's side as Terrakion going to protect itself. I'm most likely going to see the taunt here from this Thundurus to prevent that Clefable from follow meing. Clefable going to go ahead and protect.
Return?
Good protect
KO
right there.
The Thundurus.
As Thundurus goes for the Swagger onto the Clefable. That works too. As Kangaskhan goes for the Power Punch. Going to target down the Thundurus. Good call right there from Emilio to get his Kangaskhan boosted up.
Yeah, snuck in the Power Punch. 2 Pokemon protecting, hit the one he could actually hit to get the Power Punch off, and avoids the Swagger for a turn. Now he can safely follow me this turn without worrying about Swagger. Kermit probably hoping to Swagger and then close combat and make Emilio decide if he wants to risk that follow me through Swagger to stop Kangaskhan from being one-hit KO'd.
Yes, absolutely, Len. Of course, now Kangaskhan, we do know that it has Power Punch. I don't think it's going to be enough to pick up the knockout on Terrakion at 2 stages of increased attack right now.
It's close, but Thundurus is probably what you want KO'd first anyway.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right, yeah, that's right. You can follow me. As we do see Clefable kind of redirecting everything as Thundurus goes for the Thunderbolt here. Just going to try to hit this Clefable.
No Swagger.
I think Terrakion might just be content with a Rock Slide here. No, Terrakion goes for the close combat, going to target down that Clefable because of the redirection, and Clefable takes barely anything, bring it down to about 30% as Terrakion's defenses drop, and now that Power Up Punch will definitely be able to pick up the knockout if it wants to. As Kangaskhan goes for the return onto the Thunder's one-hit KO.
Yeah. Close combat was interesting there. You're ensuring, in case he doesn't follow me, you might just pick up the easy KO on Kangaskhan, but you give up a chance to flinch Kangaskhan, some extra damage on Kangaskhan, and do less damage to Clefable.
We do see Milotic, and I know this Milotic does have a trick.
Yes, so it's faster than the Terrakion, which means if Emilio's not aware of that and follow me is thinking he's safe to take the close combat, then let Kangaskhan take Milotic. Instead, Milotic will KO the Clefable, and close combat will land on the Kangaskhan. If he knows it's Choice Scarfed, he can just Sucker Punch the Milotic.
Oh, Clefable goes for the Helping Hand here.
Helping Hand Sucker Punch?
Maybe a Sucker Punch? Kangaskhan goes Sucker Punch here against this Milotic. All right.
So he knows what it was.
And that's a critical hit. Picks up the knockout, one-hit KO. But I think Terrakion might be able to knock out this Kangaskhan, which might be big. Terrakion goes for the close combat here, going to target down the Kangaskhan. Does hit that Kangaskhan and easily picks up the one-hit KO there.
Obviously, it's huge, but at that point, once Milotic hit the field, it's going to be really hard to keep Kangaskhan alive. He opts to get another KO with it quickly before losing it. Now he's up 3-2. Terrakion is stuck in at those minus defenses, and he still has his Clefable to redirect something.
Yeah, and we do see Emilio send in the Landers. That's going to weaken Terrakion right now. And the Gardevoir, we haven't seen Kermit's Mega yet. It's going to be this Trace the Intimidate? Not even
No
trace.
trace.
It's going to be Telepathy then.
So Earthquake will be huge here. Do tons of damage. Unless Tracheon is a Focus Sash, should be a KO on Tracheon and do probably more than half to Gardevoir. If Gardevoir is... No, it's going to be really difficult to stop too. Probably needs a double protect, but that allows a Freak Switch out for Clefable.
And we do see Gardevoir Mega Evolve now. What is Kermit going to do here? Lander's going to protect itself, not going to want to take any damage. This could possibly lead to a knocked out Clefable here. As Terrakion goes for the Rock Slide here, gonna target down the Clefable. Is it going to be enough to pick up the knockout on Clefable? Thanks to Unaware, yes.
I mean, I think getting Clefable knocked out may be one of the main reasons he used Protect. Clefable's going to be knocked out by that Rock Slide anyway. The Rock Slide is what he was going to be using against Landorus anyway. So that was all locked in. And now he's got a Thunderous in to try to help the Landorus, and got it in for free. And the one thing he did give up is now Gardevoir may be faster than this Landorus, whereas it wasn't before.
Right.
Depends a lot on how both
this
Pokemon are
Tracheon,
trained.
this Tracheon can flinch the Landorus as well with Rock Slide. So
yeah.
Gonna be still a close game here, despite the fact that Emilio took off to such a good lead. As Tracheon does go for the Rock Slide, gonna target down the Thunderous, and the Landorus does 50% of that Thunderous. Gonna activate the Citrus Berry and bring it to 75% here. Let's see if any Pokemon flinch. Thunderous did not go for... Ooh, Thunderous goes for the Sky Drop.
Oh, wow.
Takes Gardevoir into the sky.
Huge.
Whoa.
So cool.
And Landorus goes for the Earthquake here. Gonna hit this Landorus for super effective damage. Does it have a Focus Sash? I think it does have the Focus Sash, and it hangs on. So now when Thunderous lands, it's gonna get Hyper Voiced.
And so will Landorus, unless Landorus protects.
Yeah. There's always a chance for a flinch here, but Sky Drop's a really interesting move. Like, it's a move that we don't see often. We saw a little bit of it in 2014 where it kind of takes Pokemon up and leaves them off, like, makes them not able to move for one turn, right?
So Tracheon protects here. I would have expected to see, maybe Hyper Voice is just a safe KO anyway. Landorus doesn't KO, so this Hyper Voice is coming, unless...
Oh, Sky Drop does a lot of damage with that critical hit.
But if it's faster, that's probably game.
Gardevoir goes for the Hyper Voice here. Landorus does not hang on, and ooh, a critical hit on that Landorus. Do you think it mattered? Do you think it's a Assault Vest?
I don't think it mattered.
Oh, no, it can't be Assault Vest. It's
It was
protected.
Life
That's
Orb.
right. It's Life Orb?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the Life Orb? I didn't see the Life Orb because I was so hyped about this battle. As Thunderous now revealing its trick here, as Emilio does forfeit. So since it's a Sky Drop Thunderous, and we've seen Protect on it too, right? I think we saw Protect from it earlier. Maybe? I don't know. I think no. But the Sky Drop probably means that it doesn't have any Thunder Wave or Swagger, one of those moves.
I think allowing one of your Pokemon to be knocked out, if it's not in a good situation, is a play I like a lot. It's a play a lot of players miss. And that Clefable play looked like something like that. But the other thing it caused was Gardevoir to become faster. I think he would have actually been better off...
Earthquaking that turn?
Earthquaking that turn. So we have to think through all this. So Rock Slide, right, it KOs Clefable, hits Landorus. Earthquake goes, takes Landorus to Sash, hits Gardevoir. And Hyper Voice goes, KOs Landorus, and Clefable's already knocked out. Thunderous comes in, knocks out Tracheon? I don't know. I don't think there's any way out of that either way.
Yeah, I mean...
But it would have been interesting as a maybe a way to get Landorus and to Earthquake the Gardevoir, because that was what he was never able to do. And to buy the extra turn so that he could maybe get a Thunderbolt in on Tracheon before it could Rock Slide Thunderous.
I don't know. I mean, it's a good matchup between both teams. Like the Clefable does give issues to Kermit's team, but at the same time, like he does have the tricks to knock out that Clefable. You know, Gardevoir can easily bypass the Follow Me. Thunderous does hit pretty hard towards that Clefable slot, right? Is that what he used? What did he use to hit that Clefable in the first game again?
The Thunderous.
The Thunderous?
Yeah, I got a big Thunderbolt in. Got a close combat in on it, and then finish it off with a Rock Slide.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and he also goes for that Swagger too. I think they're having... Okay. They are ready now to go into Game 2 here of the top 4 of the 2015-2016 Pokemon Video Game Regional Championships here in San Jose, California. Thank you all for tuning in. For those of you who don't know already, my name is Duiha. Joining me on the mic is Len Duell. As we see Thunderous and Gardevoir coming out for Kermit the Frog. Very strong leads as we see Cresselia and Landorus, so now Emilio has to sort of switch it up.
Yeah, I think Emilio's led Clefable Kangaskhan almost all day, but in this game too opting to switch it up. Not sure he's actually led into that great of a position for himself, though. Thunderous, we saw Life Orb, which means it's probably hidden power and fast. So and we saw that the Landorus has Life Orb, which means it's not Choice Scarfed. So and not Assault Vest. So a Life Orb Hidden Power Ice is going to be able to just outspeed and KO this Landorus. That's something you've got to watch out for. Gardevoir can just safely start firing off Hyper Voices. Yeah, not a great position. He's going to have to find a way out of it. Getting Landorus off the field is the first step to that.
You know, I think there's going to be a lot of swagger going on with this Cresselia here. As we see Aegislash, so a complete overhaul from Emilio here as he brings two Pokemon that we haven't seen in Game 1. As we see Gardevoir going to Mega Evolve now, going to get that little Pixelate ability and be able to do a lot of damage. As we see Thunder Wave from Kermit the Frog's Thunderous going to target down that Cresselia, going to try to slow it down, make it unable to move every once in a while. Gardevoir going to go Hyper Voice here, hitting Cresselia for a decent amount of damage. Of course, Aegislash does not mind that at all, as Cresselia is fully paralyzed and cannot move this turn.
Yeah, that's big.
Huge paralysis right there.
We see leftovers on Aegislash.
And one thing about this Aegislash that comes in, you know, it can easily just take any Hyper Voice that Gardevoir can deal to it, right?
Yeah.
And, of course, Aegislash can also hit back like a truck towards it with Shadow Ball or Flash Cannon.
But Life Orb, Thunderbolt, plus an HP Ground?
That's right. We have seen the HP Ground from Kermit's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know it's not weakness policy, so it's not as big of a risk if you do miss it.
And we see Amoonguss switch in now for the Gardevoir. Does not want to sacrifice so much damage on it just yet. Thunder's going to go Swagger now, going to target down that Cresselia, going to make sure it doesn't move. Cresselia, of course, now is a sitting duck out there with its attack raised by 2 stages and confused and paralyzed. As Aegislash gets the free substitute up, and that's going to prevent a lot of status. I would have actually preferred to see the Swagger onto the Aegislash.
Yeah, I think I would have too.
And Cresselia does hit itself in confusion. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, 2 turns in a row, we have no idea what Cresselia was trying to do. Probably just get damage down onto Thunderous, but maybe some sort of support move. Aegislash is in a pretty good position now. Thunderous can easily break that substitute, and then Amoonguss could Spore, so that's something it's got to watch out for. But if that double target doesn't happen, it can get good damage off at pretty low risk. If the double target does happen and he King Shields it, that's pretty good too.
Yeah.
So.
You know, Cresselia is damaged now, and probably not even going to be able to make a move, as Cresselia does take a lot of damage. Critical hit, knocks out the Cresselia, and, you know, now he doesn't have to worry about Cresselia moving or not.
Yeah.
As we do see the Life Orb on Thunderous, as Aegislash now going to go on the offensive. Where is Aegislash going to target down? Is he going to go for the Thunderous or the Amoonguss here? Goes for the Shadow Ball onto the Thunderous, going to do a decent amount of damage right there. Almost picks up the knockout, as Amoonguss is going to go ahead and Giga Drain here. Going to try to chip away at that substitute slowly.
It was probably aimed at the Cresselia to finish off the KO from the Thunderbolt.
Probably.
And didn't have to because of the critical hit, so instead it does a little bit of damage to the substitute. I'm kind of surprised that he spent 2 turns making that Cresselia really unlikely to attack,
and just knocks
and then
it out.
The 3rd turn just knocks it out.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see,
well,
if you're going to double target something, maybe Aegislash, but maybe he was predicting King Shield.
Maybe.
But even this has improved. His Cresselia's gone, but this has drastically improved Emilio's field position.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Kangaskhan now going to provide a lot of support. Fake Out could easily just knock out that Thunders to prevent any more Thunder Wave shenanigans, or even possibly hit that Amoonguss for a lot of damage right now. Does have to be careful about the Rocky Helmet. As we see Aegislash now going to go ahead and King Shield, going to switch back into Shield form. Not going to want to take any damage at all. You know, doesn't want to have that substitute fade. So maybe this Kangaskhan's just going to go on the offense and not go for a Fake Out. Thunderous does Thunderbolt into the substitute. Kangaskhan now Power Up Punch, targeting down that Thunderous. Is it going to be enough to knock it out? That's close. That's going to be close.
Very close.
Oh,
and
it hangs out with 1 hit point. But the important part is Kangaskhan has 2 stages increased attack, but Amoonguss is just going to put it to sleep.
Right. You know, if that turn had gone differently, the Power Punch KOs, the Spores aimed at the Aegislash could be a really game-changing move for Emilio, but neither thing quite works out, and now he's in a really tough position. Aegislash is his best hope, but he's got to figure out, he's probably going to need to spend an Aegis Slash attack to do 1 damage to Thunderous, which is a huge cost.
I mean, he can also just let it get knocked out. I mean, it's going to...
Oh, right.
Life Orb, recoil. Aegis Slash now going to have it substitute fade. And, you know, Thunderous is going to knock itself out. So now Kangaskhan's just going to go ahead and sleep. It does have to be careful, though. Amoonguss might be able to put it to sleep again with a Spore. Aegis Slash smart. Goes straight for a substitute again. Smart play right there.
This will block the other Spore.
From Emilio right there. Kangaskhan now is at 1 turn of sleep?
Yeah, slept for 1 turn, +2 attack. If it wakes up, it can probably just immediately KO Amoonguss, which would be huge help for Emilio. Would make Aegis Slash much more comfortable on the field.
And we do see Gardevoir come in now. Aegis Slash and Kangaskhan out on Emilio's side. Gardevoir, of course, can just bypass that substitute, but...
They'd probably rather not bypass the substitute, probably rather just try to break it for something else.
Break it and then Spore it.
Yeah.
Oh, Amoonguss does go for the Rage Powder here. Maybe going to go for a Hidden Power onto that Aegis Slash slot. We'll just have to see as Kangaskhan continues to sleep. Gardevoir just going to go ahead and Hyper Voice again, bypassing that substitute, bringing it down to about 40%. Kangaskhan goes all the way down to about 50% right there. Massive damage from that Gardevoir as Aegis Slash now going on the offensive here.
Yeah,
going to target down the Amoonguss with a Shadow Ball.
This is a really comfortable situation for Kermit. He can just, if the Kangaskhan does early wake, it'll just KO the Amoonguss, and he gets to put good Hyper Voice damage out. Now it's slept for 2 turns and could still sleep next turn. He's got to be a little worried now. He probably knows better than we if Aegis Slash will be KO'd by, or Gardevoir will be KO'd by 1 Aegis Slash attack. We know it's not Life Orb Aegis Slash, so there's a chance Gardevoir can survive it, and if it can, he's in a really good position. Either way, he's going to be able to get a Hyper Voice off because Amoonguss is there keeping it safe.
Absolutely, Len. There's still 1 more Pokemon back. I don't believe we've seen it yet.
No, I don't think we have.
We haven't seen it yet from Kermit's side. Aegis Slash now going to King Shield, going to block any sort of damage and also slowly regain health from that leftovers. You know, that's kind of a throwback to 2014 Aegis Slash. You know, the leftover sub Aegis Slash that hides behind it to block Spore from Amoonguss. Amoonguss now Rage Powdering. Is Kangaskhan going to be able to wake up here as we see Gardevoir just outspeed and go for the Hyper Voice here?
That should be the KO.
That should be the knockout on Kangaskhan, yeah? And that does pick up the knockout on Kangaskhan. 1 more Pokemon left for Emilio.
I think he was forced to King Shield there because the Hyper Voice may have KO'd if he didn't.
You think so?
It would have been close.
Would have been close, but maybe now Emilio has something in the back that he has that can deal with this Gardevoir and Amoonguss a little bit better. Landorus does come in, going to go for Intimidate, but you know, you can't really Earthquake because you're just going to fade your own sub. Well,
and you can't go for Rock Slide Flinches because the Landorus is slower than the Gardevoir. It's going to be a while till you can actually KO the Gardevoir because of the Amoonguss. Yeah, I think Kermit's pretty comfortable here. Just keep Rage Powdering and Hyper Voicing.
I think he's about to make it to the finals, man.
Yeah.
Finally, he's going to go to the finals where he was unable to make it last year and, you know, slowly advance as we see Gardevoir protect. Amoonguss going to go ahead and protect 2. Probably expecting an Earthquake right now.
Hoping to get him to break his own sub.
Ooh, Landorus does have Stone Edge, though. That's a good move to have. And Aegis Slash now going to go on the offensive. It's going to... Right, he's going to stagger it. He's going to try to force Aegis Slash to be in shield form. You know, just so...
yeah, but they can also just double protect on the other side now, and you're giving Aegis Slash a little bit of health. I don't think it'll matter in the long run, but...
Yeah. Maybe he was just trying to see what this Landorus would do. Probably just scouting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. It's almost over. I mean, 6 minutes left on the clock as Amoonguss is going to Rage Powder draw away any attack.
No protects. No
yeah,
King
no
Shield.
King Shield at all. As Gardevoir goes for the Hyper Voice here, going to hit this Landorus, going to hit this Aegis Slash.
Yeah.
Aegis Slash hangs on, Landorus hangs on. Landorus now connects with Stone Edge. No! Amoonguss avoids it, actually, as Aegis Slash now Shadow Ball into the Amoonguss slot, doing a decent amount of damage. Gets a special defense drop, but it doesn't matter at this point unless... Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point.
No,
because,
I mean,
yeah.
Even if Stone Edge had hit and been enough to KO Amoonguss, the next Hyper Voice still outspeeds, KOs both, and there's a 3rd Pokemon in the back for Kermit. Now, this game's long done. It's just 1 Hyper Voice away now.
Yeah, almost there, guys. We're almost ready to go into the finals. I believe Chase is still playing. Chase and Alec are still playing on the other tables. As Amoonguss is going to go ahead and switch now. Going to go into Terrakion. Going to get back some health for that Amoonguss if it does have to come back in, but I think that might be it because this Hyper Voice here is going to knock out the Landers, and the Hyper Voice after that's going to knock out the Aegislash.
Right. Just kind of forestalling the inevitable here. There's not even a hope for misses or flinches or fully pairs or crits or anything. It's just a clean outspeed KO. Maybe Edge Shield form Hyper Voice isn't KO, but now it's a focused Hyper Voice too. So,
you know, usually whenever I saw Landorus back in 2015, my saying was if there's a Landorus, then there's a way. Just like how in RBY, if there was a Tauros, there was a way. You know, Rock Slide flinches.
But all the Landers are slow again now.
I know, now they're slow, so I can't really get away with saying that anymore. And the match was forfeited, unless Kermit just threw it. But yeah, there you go. He took it. Emilio is going to go ahead and finish in the top 4, while Kermit the Frog is going to go ahead and advance to the finals here